Hey, welcome back to Keep Trucking Personal. My name is Tyler Kivi and I'm your host. Today, we're going to talk about the modern day truck driver. And this is part two of the meat and potatoes of trucking. And if you missed last week's episode, please take the time, go back and listen to it. It's 15 minutes. And I really enjoy telling the story, how I feel like my grandpa would look at this current day truck driver and then also sharing some of the things that their generation went through and what built the foundation of trucking and what the trucking industry grew on. Like I said, today we're going to talk about the modern day truck driver. And like I said, I'm going to come at this a little bit more harsh. I want us to dig deep and look inside at what it takes to be a successful truck driver, not, let's call it a hobby truck driver. Okay. So this is going to be the version that's not an Instagram highlight. This isn't the highlight reel. This is the real day in and day out version of what it takes to win in this industry today, because the pitfalls are everywhere. If you're not paying attention to them, they'll quietly take you out. Simple as that. And so here's the truth that doesn't get said enough. Trucking didn't get easier. The standards just got looser. The job back then, what some could say was even harder than it is now. Like I said, a lot of the luxuries we don't have. So the actual application of the industry, it probably was way harder back then. Truck stops were farther and few in between, and they didn't have the amenities. They didn't have all of the accessories. And there was a lot that they didn't have that we have. But we have progressed and grown this industry, and now the standards just got looser. And I feel like the professionalism in the truck driver concept is lost, and that's dangerous because you are becoming what you are around. I've said it before in other episodes. It's a common, your parents probably said it to you. You've heard it throughout your whole life, and who you surround yourself with matters more than most people want to admit. It's that simple. If you're around drivers who hop 3 jobs a year, they're always changing and they're always blaming dispatch, the company, the market, the DOT. They're constantly looking for the next best thing. And they talk about how they're getting screwed over and over and over and how somebody got chose before they did and why they keep missing out. And don't be surprised if you start to sound like them, or if you start to look like them, or if you start to do the same things that they do. If you don't believe it, test it. Measure your surroundings. Are the people around you winning, or are they just complaining? Are they building something or burning bridges consistently? Are they committed? Are they constantly half in or out? Are they committed? Are they thinking about their future at the company they're at? Or are they looking and doom scrolling for the next opportunity that pops up on their social media? Because over time, you don't just hear that mindset, you absorb it. So all the time you put on the phone with those drivers, all the times that they're saying, hey, check out this company, I just got hired on, it's the best thing ever. And you get on the bandwagon and follow them over there. How do you think that's playing out? Ask yourself, how has it played out? And I'm not saying this just from outside looking in. I see it all the time. I feel like I'm a part of it. I get to witness it. I get to see it firsthand. It's hard. It's because we forget that we represent something bigger than ourselves. Somewhere along the way, we lost something important. We lost the idea that we represent more than just ourselves. We get so selfish on the road. It's always about me. It's always about the individual driver. We get so caught up in our own image. And whether you like it or not, you represent the company you work at. You represent that customer that you are hauling. You represent your family. You represent this industry most importantly. And when a DOT officer looks at you, they don't just see you. They see the name on the door. And when a customer watches how you act, they don't separate the individual from the company. It all boils up to the top. And when I was driving, I felt that pressure so much. I felt like the biggest weight on my shoulders all the time. And I'm glad I did, because it allows me to speak on behalf of it. My biggest goal when I was out on the road was to set the standard. That's what my dad expected of me. That's what Derek expected of me. That's what my uncles expected of me. And yes, of course I was young and I felt like I had extra pressure just because of being young in this industry, but I had to prove myself all the time. And I did it every single day. I tried to wake up as early as I could to be on point. I tried to make sure I was ahead of the ball. I tried to make sure I could communicate well. And when I showed up to a shipper, I wanted to impress them. I wanted them to say, that was amazing, the interaction I just had with that young driver. He did a great job. And let me tell you, this isn't me bragging on myself here, but the reality is I was able to score customers for our business by acting like a professional, by doing the job and doing it well. It was so satisfying to have somebody call in or email operations and say, hey, who was that driver? Because I didn't go in there and told who I was or who I knew. I just went in and tried to do the job well. I treated whatever forklift operator with respect. And I talked to everyone in the office or wherever I was with respect. And it helped me understand what this game is all about. It kept me sharp. It allowed me to say, hey, let's not cut corners. And trust me, I'm not perfect here. So this isn't like I've never made a mistake or never cut corners or tried to. So don't take that wrong. But I can tell you now with confidence that it made me think twice when nobody else was watching. And that's not a burden. That's a standard. That is what they used to have back in the day. And let me say this plainly, professionalism still matters in this industry, a big time. Dressing the part matters. Acting the part matters. You are a professional truck driver with 80,000 pounds. You need to act the part. You need to act a professional. You've earned that license. There's a reason you have to take the test and be sufficient at driving. You've earned it. So act it. Dress the part. Back in the day, work boots were a standard. That was not a question. You did not get to go out on the road if you didn't have work boots. And I know I'm nitpicking here, but think about it. Think about back in the day. Think about what my grandpa would say if you weren't dressed the part. He'd say, go home. You can't do the job. You're not here. You're not ready. And so how you show up, how you talk to people, how you treat people, how you take care of your equipment, how you handle problems, that's professionalism. That's what they used to have. That's what we need to stay successful in this current day. And that professionalism, it keeps compounding because it builds trust, and trust creates opportunity, and opportunity creates longevity. So do you see how that all plays together? All the time drivers ask, how can I elevate my position? How can I become a better asset to this company? And that is the recipe. It's as simple, short, and sweet as that. And I'm going to say it again so you can think about it, because if you're driving right now, this is something you should really think about if you want to continue to grow. Because like I said, professionalism compounds and it builds trust. Okay. It builds trust, and trust creates opportunity. So if someone trusts you, they're going to put their neck out on the line for you. And that is an opportunity for you. And that opportunity helps you grow, which in turn brings longevity. This idea that you can look sloppy, act sloppy, and still demand top tier respect and pay, it doesn't hold up in the real world. It might sound easy when everybody's bashing somebody on social media, or you're that keyboard warrior, but it doesn't hold up, because wanting it all without paying the price, it just doesn't work. And I remember one time I had to get a tire changed out in North Dakota. And this might seem small and fractional in what some people actually are dealing with, but it's how I can relate to it simply, right? So I headed to North Dakota. I had a tire that was getting close to being out of service. I actually brought a tire with me. And when I was in North Dakota working, the day had come that I decided to get it changed. And I had this weird feeling in my stomach. I just did not like being in the shop without it being at our shop. And I just did not like paying somebody else to do the work. And it was literally a scheduled maintenance. But I felt this pit inside me that said, hey, what could I have done better to make this last longer? What could I have done better? And I've had plenty of role models in this company and in this industry that have exceeded limits that the standards are. And those are the people I thought of. How can I act like them? How can I be like them? How can I get my equipment to do the same thing? And why did I care, right? Why was it? Why did I care so much? It's because it was my responsibility. It was my responsibility on the road to take care of that equipment. It was my responsibility to understand that all the small decisions that I made add up. And that mindset often is missed today. That's missed. It's really sad to see sometimes when somebody causes damage to something, and even though it's an accident, there's no remorse. Friends, I can't tell you how many times I've seen something where they, doesn't matter who it is, looks at it and says, hey, that's not a big deal. It's my first time, or it's this or that. And, whether you're remorseful or not, and I'm not asking for an apology letter when something goes on, but you have to feel it internally to help you want to grow. That's how you become situationally aware. You understand what happened. You feel the pain. And that's what they did back in the day. They did not have quick social media to say, well, I'll go get a new job today because I messed up. No, they took it on the chin. They got a bloody nose, and they came back, and they're a stronger person because of it. You have to understand it's not fight or flight every single time. We're a team. We're in it together. That is the difference, because today too many drivers want all the money, and they want all the benefits. They want all the flexibility without commitment, without ownership, and without sacrifice. And you don't win without commitment. So let me be very clear. You will not win if you do not commit. I've never seen someone who job hops their way to real success. Now, there are caveats to this, and some companies are bad. There are bad actors in this industry. So if you can get out, get out. And some moves are strategic. Some people are trying to grow to another level. Somebody has an opportunity maybe to take care of their family better. And I applaud you for that. You have to do what's right for your family. There's sometimes an opportunity for big equipment or something to level up. Makes sense. That's fair. But if you're at a good company, and you know if you're at a good company, I can promise you this. They want you to win. So the real question then becomes, why aren't you winning, right? Why aren't you busting your tail day in and day out? Why aren't you stacking consistency and being a professional every single day so it becomes normal? And why aren't you treating the road like a craft instead of just a hobby? Don't get me wrong, the road is amazing, and we've talked with people, and I've been fortunate to go to Alaska, and there are things I will never forget with the scenic view and the opportunities I had and the things that I witnessed, but I was focused on building. And winning doesn't just come from hopping around and being lazy. It comes from building, because the distractions will destroy you in this industry. And there was distractions back when my grandpa was driving, and I know that. I heard stories, and I know they had a tough time, and they fell prey to these same things that I'm going to say right now, but it's still true today. And it's even a little bit different, right? Because we have gaming, we have social media. Those are not things that they had back then. You can get in your bunk now and watch TV or some sort of device, and that can distract you from your job. And there's nothing wrong with taking a little time and, relaxing and decompressing. But think about it. How many times has it steered you away from being prepared for the next day? Drugs and alcohol. It's even bigger today than it was because there's more places around you. There's more things coming at you. Marketing. They do it for a reason. And escaping anything and all things and trying to be everything instead of focusing on the job at hand. So I'm here to warn you. These things don't relax long term. It starts to drain you more and more as you continue to do it. It steals your focus and your discipline and your ambition and your time. And time is the one thing trucking never gives back to you. If there's anything I've learned in the last decade about trucking, it's the optimization of time. In trucking, that is the recipe. And it doesn't mean speed. It doesn't mean put it to the pedal and mash it and burn all the fuel you can. No, it doesn't mean that at all. But it means consistency and velocity, and all of that matters for a single driver. This isn't just, multiple measures where it compounds and it makes a bigger deal. No, for every single driver, if you stay consistent and you keep moving and you keep your time on the forefront, it will benefit you. And the lifestyle of wanting everything while delivering nothing isn't freedom. It's a failure plan. And bad days are part of the deal. Don't let them win. And here's the final truth, you guys. Bad days are guaranteed in trucking. I will assure you that. It doesn't take long for you to be in trucking to get mixed up with weather or a maintenance failure or just a complete mix-up in operations or something wrong at home. You name it. But you have to understand that there are bad days and you cannot let them win. There always will be, and there always have been. The difference between an average driver and an exceptional driver isn't just talent. It's response. Do you let a bad day lower your standards? Do you let a bad day justify laziness? Do you let a bad day turn a bad day from now into a bad week and a bad month, maybe a bad year? Or do you say, not today, not today, you won't get me. Don't let the bad days win. You have to show up anyway. You have to do the job anyway. You have to execute. Don't let that little hiccup be the demise of you. Don't let it start to set you up for where you're on social media and you're scrolling. Like I said, I'm not saying this because of a Kivi Brothers employee. I think if you are a driver anywhere, do not let that be the outcome. You have to work through it. Show up anyway, do the job anyway, and carry yourself like it matters every single day, because it does. It does. And so as you can see, I've went through a lot of the pitfalls, but I think that is the best way to explain what we need to course correct in this industry. So ask yourself right now, if you're driving down the road, are you in one of those buckets? Is there something you can do to get out of it? Is there another friend group that you can join? Let's talk about reading a book or listening to a book. Is there something different you can do to course correct? Because we all make mistakes. We all are guilty of making bad decisions. And it doesn't matter if there are things you did when you were younger. It doesn't mean you have to carry that mentality as you get older. You can change. You can do it. And I'm here to root for you, but you have to put the effort in, because it doesn't matter if you're driving a truck or you're sitting behind a desk or you're playing a sport, anything, you have to put the work in. It will not just come to you. And this industry has so much opportunity. The difference between being successful in this industry or not is that simple. It's that finite. It's not just always the truck. It's not just always your dispatcher. It's not just always, you name it. I mean, I've heard every reason why somebody's quit a job or they got let go. You have to protect yourself. You have to do it right. You have to spend time, build the tenure. I promise you, that is the simplest thing you can do, is understand that that company wants the best for you. Get rid of all of the superstition. Get rid of all the paranoia. Just because it happened somewhere else doesn't mean it's going to happen again. You have to sometimes have blind faith here and trust that your company wants you to do well. Because more drivers who understand who they represent and what they're building and why that commitment still matters will be the ones that win tomorrow. And that's the meat and potatoes of modern day trucking. I know I could go into pre-trips and this and how to secure your load. Yes, those are things that you want to continue to improve on. But the meat and potatoes is more of a mental approach to be strong in this industry, because there are not shortcuts. There's no excuses. And there's just responsibility, pride, and consistency. If you can hold on to that, trust me, you will win long after others quit. So please make the best of yourself today in this modern day trucking world. So until next time, keep trucking personal.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Keep Trucking Personal. We appreciate you taking the time to explore the heart and soul of Kivi Brothers Trucking with us. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review to let us know your thoughts. Tune in next time as we continue our journey together, diving deeper into what makes us a community, a catalyst for positive change, and a home for those who aspire to be part of something truly extraordinary. Until then, keep trucking, and we'll catch you on the next episode.